Liverpool, Liverpool, Liverpool. I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready because we're coming for you. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pause, 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 pause. My bad, my bad, my bad. I didn't deep what I was saying. My bad, my bad. But nonetheless, Liverpool, I hope you are ready. I hope you are ready. Are you seeing what we're doing? I know you guys got a cheeky win against Aston Villa today, a cute win, 2-0, 3-0. I can't remember what the end of the score was, but cute win, but are you seeing what Real Madrid are doing on the other hand? They win against Barcelona last week in their Clasico, and now this. I'm not going to say the score at the end of the game because unfortunately I am recording this about 5-10 minutes before the game was over because I am on my way to the gym right now, which is why I'm wearing a United kit. So sorry about the confusion there. But at the moment I left was 4-0. I left after the Carreras goal. Beautiful goal from Carreras. We'll get into that. But Liverpool, all I have to say is that you guys need to get ready, man. Because if we're coming to Anfield with this confidence, then I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. But yeah, let's get into the reason why we are here, which is Real Madrid versus Valencia. Like I said, I left when it was 4-0. And this was an expected win from Real Madrid. Valencia are kind of struggling this season. They're in a relegation battle at the moment. They're currently like 18th in La Liga and everything. So this was what everybody expected, right? But let's do a quick rundown of that game. So obviously the first goal was the Mbappe penalty, and there were multiple reasons to give that penalty. Like honestly, take your pick. Like it was the foul on Mbappe, which was the reason why I think they should have given the penalty, but they didn't. There was the foul on Bellingham as well, which like that one was less of a penalty shout, but at the same time still a penalty shout. But then they gave it for the handball, which funny enough, I actually don't think I wouldn't have personally given a handball for that. Like if that was the only thing that was going on in the box, if the foul on Mbappe didn't happen and the foul on Bellingham didn't happen, I wouldn't be looking at the handball and thinking that, oh yeah, give the penalty for that. So it's actually crazy that they give the penalty for that. But hey man, we take those. We take those. We take what we can get. As long as a penalty came out of that situation, I'm happy. And yeah, Mbappe buried the penalty. What you expect from him, right? And then, we got to the second goal from Kylian Mbappe. Beautiful assist from Gula once again. That Gula Mbappe infinite assist glitch is just crazy. Like that connection that they're building, that connection that they've already built, not even that they're building, they've already built it it's beautiful. Like it's something like it's just a cheat code at the moment. Like it's honestly just a cheat code. Like, oh, we're struggling in the game. Real Madrid need an out. Okay, give the ball to Gola. Let me just pass to Mbappe. Trust me, he'll find Mbappe. And that was beautiful play from Bellingham as well to give the pass into Gola. And then Gola just a nice cross into the box from Mbappe. And Mbappe a beautiful finish from him as well. So shout out to all those guys. Shout out to Gola and Bellingham as well for the way that they played in this game. I'll get into that in a moment. And moving on from that was the next penalty incident, which that one was less of a controversy. A foul on Carreras, clear foul on Carreras, and won the penalty and everything. And Vinny actually took that penalty, taking away the chance from Mbappe to score a hat trick, and he actually missed the penalty. And I want to send a quick message to Vinny, just a quick one, right? Vinny, honestly, you would do well to try and not make yourself a troublemaker under Xabi Alonso. I know you were having a good game in this game. We'll get into that and everything, but I think that you would do well to try and not make yourself a troublemaker under Alonso. And the reason why I say that here, because we all know, we all saw the incident that happened in El Clasico last week. He got subbed out and everything. And as much as I don't agree with the decision for him to get subbed out at that time, Alonso did make the call and he did put the tantrum that he did on the pitch, right? And that was not a good look, right? That was not a good look on him. That was not a good look on Alonso as well because it makes it look like, he doesn't have the dressing room. It makes it look as like, he doesn't really respect him and everything. And then Alonso has to answer all these questions in the media, like the questions that they were reading on him in the media. Oh, have you sorted it out with Vinny? Is there going to be any punishment? Like literally every single question was revolved around Vinny. And then this happens, right? And like I said, Vinny was having a good game, but at the same time, I feel like in this type of games, after that incident, after everything that's happened, after everything Alonso has done for you, after that incident, right? Like for you to do this, take the penalty, which is not crazy that he took that penalty away from Mbappe. It's not like he forced it away from Mbappe. Like he asked Mbappe nicely, Mbappe gave it to him. But Alonso did not okay that decision. And when he did miss the penalty, like Alonso did show his frustration in the fact that he didn't want the penalty to go to Vini, right? And Alonso is the manager of the team, and at that moment in time, it was 2-0, just 2-0. So obviously, giving the penalty away and then him missing the penalty and everything is obviously going to leave visual frustration on the manager because at that moment, what if like Valencia had gone to score a goal, then to be 2-1 and it's a whole different game, right? So I can understand Alonso's frustration and everything. The reason why I say Vinny needs to like watch it is because like I know that it's okay to like take away the penalty. He was the penalty taker for Real Madrid before, so like he's not as if like he's a shit penalty taker overall, but at the same time, like just keep your head down in this type of games. Like, if you want to score a goal, score like a regular goal. I know you want to score a goal, kiss the badge, and show the Real Madrid fans that, like, like you're here. You want to, you want to show them love for the support that I've given him in this time and everything. But at the same time, like, I just feel like in this type of situations, you just need to keep your head down. You just need to keep your head down and play your game, honestly. Like, just play your game. You're already having a good game. You're already having the type of performance that we expect to follow up after the incident last time. Just keep your head down. Don't take the penalty away from Mbappe, especially if you didn't get the okay from the manager. Don't do that. Don't make yourself a troublemaker or that Xabi Alonso. Don't make yourself that player that he has to be thinking, yes, he's a good player, but I don't think he respects me that much. Or don't make yourself a player that like every time you're on the pitch is worrying about like a PR issue where like he has to defend you in the media once again. He has to say that, oh, don't worry, everything is fine between us and everything. Like, don't make yourself a problem for Alonso. He is a new manager. He doesn't have the most experience and everything, but he is trying to set a foundation of respect. And if he always has to kind of like defend you slash like just there's always an altercation between both of you. I just feel like at some point, like he will get tired of it. Honestly, like what I feel like at some point you get tired, and as much as he's a good player, he might think, "Do I really want to do with this player? Like, do I always want to defend him? Do I always want to have a problem with him and everything?" So I'm just saying that, like, in this type of situation, especially like after that El Clasico, just like, just keep it simple, keep it simple. Don't do anything to piss off the manager. Like I said, it's not crazy that he took away the penalty from Mbappe. We were 2-0 up and everything. It was a comfortable game from us and everything. But at the same time, just keep it simple, man. Don't do anything to make yourself a troublemaker in this team. But that's just my message real quick. But obviously he missed the penalty, and lucky for him, what followed was a beautiful goal from Bellingham to make it 3-0 rather than Valencia equalizing that game. And Bellingham is another person that had a good performance. Again, I'll get into the guys who I'm going to shout out and everything. But yeah, Bellingham had a good performance in this game, and what a beautiful goal from him from outside the box. That's 3 goals in three. Juve, Barcelona, and now this. Like, he's showing that like his confidence is back and everything. And then the Carreras goal, obviously, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful goals from Carreras. Like, what? That was a lovely goal, man. Like, Charlie Daniels esque. We always remember Charlie Daniels versus Man City. That goal, that was a Charlie Daniels esque goal. It's crazy to say Charlie Daniels esque, but that was a Charlie Daniels esque goal from Carreras. And yeah, 4-0 up. Carreras got his first goal from Madrid. And as much as Mbappe didn't get the hat trick, like, still a very good performance. Mbappe did get the golden boot today, so it's be nice for him to cap it off with, like, the match ball as well. But like 2 goals is still fine, right? All I can say is that we're ready for Liverpool. But now time to shout out the guys that I think had good games in this game. Obviously, 4-0 or whatever the score was at the end of the game. So everybody obviously had like a good game and everything, except from Mastantuano. I think Mastantuano, if Mastantuano, brother, I don't know, man. Like this wasn't even close to enough to get your place back in the team. I know the thing with Mastantuano. Mastantuano was never like good enough. Like, he's still young and everything, so he still has a lot of time. But Mastatona was never good enough to actually like be a starter for Real Madrid at the moment. It was never like that, like, oh, he's just so quality that he has to start. It was never the case with Mastatona. What was the case was that he brought balance to the team. What was the case was that, like, him and Adagula just worked well when Bellingham was out and everything. And like, they did bring balance to the team. Masnatono being on the pitch does bring balance to the team. So I think that Masnatono was more of like a balancing act than actually just being like a full-on, yeah, I'm good enough or I'm better than every other option. Masnatono is not better than Rodrigo. He's not even better than Brian Diaz and everything, but he does bring more balance than those two guys, right? So that's why he does play. But I think that, the Atletico Madrid game, the Getafe game, like all these games, right? Like, he hasn't had good performances in all these games. And I do think that like he has kind of lost his place in the team. And Xabi Alonso is just going to look for other ways to find balance with the team. He is kind of doing that with the whole Bellingham and Aragola kind of like switching up positions here and there, forcing players like Kamavinga to the right when he's on the pitch and everything. Just try to create balance in other ways. But like he might no longer look to Mastantuano for that. Like he might just think of Mastantuano as under talent, like he needs time and everything. So I'm not saying that like he's never going to get his opportunity again. I'm not saying that I've lost hope in him. He's still a young talent and everything. But I'm just saying that in terms of him being like the full on, like, okay, right winger for Real Madrid, Mascherano, I don't think that he has that anymore. At least at the moment, he can still do well to kind of like get his place back in the team, but at the moment, no. But players that did play well in this game, Vinny, like I said, had a very good game. I think Vinny looked sharp in this game. I think Vinny has looked sharp in his past few games. The game against Barcelona, obviously, like I said in that game, one of our best attackers, if not our best attacker on the pitch. I think he was our best attacker on the pitch in that game. So that's why I understand his frustration getting subbed out. And in this game as well, he was the most like electric attacker on the pitch as well. Like, trying to make something happen, taking on players, just doing his whole confidence thing, like just like I said with Vinny, a player like Vinny, like these are confidence players, and what shows you that they have confidence is not even like the GA, it's not even like not necessarily even the whole performance, it's the little things, like it's the flicks. Like I remember this time when the ball came to him and he kind of did like a no-look touch for Carreras, and just that alone just shows that he's playing with confidence. That alone, because like I said, Vinny is a confidence player, and those little flicks and tricks, those little things that show you that he has that Brazilian flair and everything, are the things that make it known that he is playing with confidence at the moment. And that's good to see. We do have a big game coming up in Liverpool and everything. So it's nice that he's going into that game with confidence. I don't think the penalty miss is going to like shake his confidence too much or anything. So yeah, Vinny did have a good game. Bellingham as well had a good game, like I said, 3 for 3. And it's not just the goals that he's scoring, it's also the fact that he's putting in good performances. He does look back to fitness. He does look like his shoulder isn't affecting him anymore. He does look like he is match fit at the moment. And it's nice to see from Bellingham. Now he's going to be a constant player in the team. Now he's going to be like, okay, who plays alongside Bellingham? How are we going to make this whole Bellingham Adagula thing work? Which is something that actually showed in this game. I think that goal was like a perfect example. The Bellingham goal was the perfect example. Sorry, not the Bellingham goal. The Mbappe goal, the Adagula assist for Mbappe goal was a perfect example of like how the relationship can kind of work. Because in this game, we kind of saw Bellingham and Adagula kind of like pushed up. Like I think in the Barcelona game, Adagula was playing a bit of a deeper role, even if he had the option to like push up and everything. But in this game, you kind of saw Bellingham and Aragula kind of like push more up. Obviously, Valencia that go to sit more deep and everything. So, we don't really need to push anybody back and everything that game. But what you could kind of see in this game was them kind of like switching at times, where Bellingham kind of drops a bit deeper and Aragula goes up, and then vice versa, right? And in that goal, you actually saw Bellingham drop deep, give a good pass, a beautiful pass into Aragula, and then Aragula bit fast into Mbappe, slot it home and everything, right? So that relationship is building. Alonso has said in the past that, like, he does see them playing together, not as if like Benham is an imitator for Adagula or vice versa, right? So it's nice to see that the relationship is actually building. It's nice to see that there's a way that it can actually work without them having to give up like what makes them good players and everything. I did say in the last episode that I do want to see a situation where Adagula is the guy further up the pitch than Bellingham. And the reason why is just because I just feel like when Adagula is up the pitch, I feel like when Adagula is closer to Mbappe, like we do get more out of that relationship than we do when Bellingham is like closer to Mbappe. Like Bellingham, you would get the goals, you get like the impact and everything. Like Bellingham, you get the quality, right? But I think that when you're talking about like final passes, like when you're talking about that, like intricate passing to Mbappe, that nice assist into Mbappe, a player who likes to make runs in behind. Obviously, I think that Adagula is more equipped in that aspect. I think that with Bellingham, like I said in the previous episode, like you kind of see situations where he does take that extra second to play that final pass. Like he doesn't play that final pass immediately. It's almost as if like he doesn't always back himself, and he's not that type of player. He's not a Bruno, he's not a De Bruyne, he's not an Adagula. Like there's different type of players, the different type of cams, different types of midfielders, right? And Bernard is not necessarily the final pass type of midfielder. Like he can obviously play that final pass like he did in the El Clasico, like we've seen on multiple occasions, but he's not that type of midfielder that like, making the pass open is going to play. He's going to hesitate a bit, and sometimes he just wouldn't play to retain the ball, maybe give not necessarily a safer pass, but a safer pass, if you get what I mean. So I do think that you get a bit more when Adagola is pushed further up the pitch and everything than Bellingham. But like games like this where both of them are able to be further out the pitch together and everything, then you get what you get from both of them, right? But yeah, Bellingham had a good game, and speaking of Adagula, also did have a good game in this game. The assist from Mbappe, obviously, and I think that he was having a good game. I think that when he came off at halftime, you kind of see that like we had kind of like lost something. Like obviously Liverpool is coming up. We're already winning 3-0. It was kind of like supposed to be a professional display from us where like we just retain the lead that we already have. And if anybody wants to score like a banger, then you would score. We obviously saw in the second half a lot of shots from outside the box, just people trying to score the Carras goal, which was a goal out of nowhere and everything. But I think that when Gula does get subbed out and everything, we do lose something. Like we lose that extra bit of creativity. I think when Gula is subbed out, like the Atletico Madrid game, the Barcelona game. Even I know he wasn't having a good game and everything, but in that second half, it was more about defending the second half. Right? So obviously, we're not trying to necessarily score, but I do think that you do lose that extra bit of creativity that you get when he's on the pitch. So yeah, Gula is a good player. He is a player that I think is going to be key for Liverpool. I'll get into that later when I try and do a preview for that game. But yeah, those are the guys that I want to shout out in this game. Obviously, shout out to Carras as well. Shout out to every player, honestly, except for maybe Courtois, who didn't really do much. I know he made one save towards the end and everything, but like he didn't really have much to do in this game. And obviously Mastantuono as well. And yeah, it was a good game from us. And like I said, Liverpool ready, Anfield bound, and we are ready for that game. I hope Liverpool are ready. Actually, I don't hope that they're ready, but let me know what you guys thought about the game. Who was your man of the match in this game? I didn't even give my man of the match. I'll probably say Vinny or Bellingham. If I want to be more specific, I think I'll give it to Vinny. Maybe I think I'll give it to Vinny. I know he did miss that penalty, but I'll give it to Vinny. But who was you guys man of the match? What was you guys thoughts about the game? And what do you think about the Liverpool game as well? What are your score predictions for that game? Who do you think is going to be a key player? Let me know all of that in the comments. But with that comes the end of this episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I always appreciate it. I'm going to try and stay consistent, keep on pushing out episodes, and I just hope to see you guys again next time. Safe.